What's up guys, Schmitty here, welcome back to another video, and today I want to talk about the presumed Black Ops 5 coming in 2020. As we all know, Sledgehammer and Raven have been moved off the docket for creating 2020's Call of Duty, and Treyarch has been put in charge, and now Sledgehammer and Raven are now support studios, and we've now got some more information surrounding this game. So let's get right into it. So as we know, Call of Duty Black Ops 5 is supposed to be a Vietnam-era game. Sledgehammer and Raven, before Treyarch took over, were working on some sort of Cold War Call of Duty. And now that Treyarch has took over, they're shifting it more toward a Vietnam perspective, which, as we all know, this Vietnam-era, Cold War era is similar to what we saw in Call of Duty Black Ops, the original. And so it seems at first kind of cool that Black Ops 5 would kind of pay homage to the original Black Ops, seeing as the last few games with the Black Ops series, we've kind of gone into more of a future aspect. And as we also know, for this coming year, we're going to be seeing Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the rebranding, the reboot of the original Modern Warfare series. But it doesn't look like that's the only time that we're going to be seeing something like that. It looks as though Call of Duty Black Ops 5 is going to follow a similar route, and Call of Duty Black Ops 5 will be a reboot of the Black Ops franchise in a similar way to Call of Duty Modern Warfare. All this information, by the way, was first reported by the Gaming Revolution and was later posted on Gaming Intel. But it sounds like Black Ops 5 is not necessarily going to be Black Ops 5, and that it could be just Call of Duty Black Ops, how we see Call of Duty Modern Warfare now. And it's going to be a reboot of the franchise in a similar way to what Modern Warfare is going to be. It's pretty weird now seeing these the Modern Warfare franchise and now supposedly the Black Ops franchise going into this reboot state of trying to revisit those older games. And so I would assume that if they're going to be rebooting this game, it would just be called Call of Duty Black Ops. And I know that's confusing for people because that's what the original Black Ops game was called. We kind of had the similar thing going on with Modern Warfare, but technically the original Call of Duty Modern Warfare was not really called Call of Duty Modern Warfare, it was COD 4, but Call of Duty Black Ops, the original, was called Call of Duty Black Ops. So how could they do this time around? Well, it sounds like this game is going to be largely made for the next generation consoles, being the next PlayStation and the next Xbox, which would make the original Call of Duty Black Ops 2 generations old as far as consoles go. And so in that respect, I don't see too much of an issue there, of course, with it being a reboot of the series, not a remaster, a reboot of Black Ops. I can see that working 2 console generations later to have a game with a similar name but following the same aspects and probably something similar of a storyline. But it's really interesting. It looks like they're going to be going the same route as Modern Warfare, just doing a reboot, kind of starting from scratch, following the same era that the original game was made in, but with an entirely new story, probably some same characters coming back. But it sounds like we're going to be getting a similar experience with this next Black Ops game that we're going to be seeing with the new Modern Warfare game coming out this year. So that's pretty interesting. So as we know from when Sledgehammer and Raven were removed from the job of working on the next Call of Duty, that they already had pieces and parts built for the next campaign. They'd already had some missions done and worked on, and people wondered how Treyarch was going to take some of that, or if they weren't going to take any of it at all for the new campaign. But it sounds like they'll be building a campaign from the ground up, and they'll be using these bits and pieces of what Raven and Sledgehammer did, while also creating new assets to tell their story, which I felt was the route that they would go. They would take parts of it, but wouldn't directly use any of it, or just like copy those same missions and try to make them fit with their story. I figured they would probably use bits and parts of it, but generally create their own new storyline. And apparently with this, they want to create a down-to-earth and gritty version of the Vietnam War, which we will see from all angles. It'll supposedly follow the US, South Vietnamese, and Viet Cong perspectives. So it sounds like it's going to be hardcore, gritty, this more down-to-earth, realistic, same kind of thing that we're going to be seeing from Modern Warfare. But funny enough, the whole campaign and story is not going to be the only thing rebooted. Zombies is going to be rebooted as well. So Zombies, as we know, has had this whole like new transformation. It's gone like so in depth. There's been so many crazy and wild things added. It started as something that was just so much more gritty and basic and simple, just, you know, fighting hordes and rounds of zombies. And then we've had things like robots and dragons and all this stuff added into the zombies mode. It sounds like they're going to be giving that a new total reboot as well, and kind of starting from the ground up on that, eliminating some of the crazy new features that have been added to zombies over the recent years. And this article also says there are current discussions going on in the studio on whether they should reboot the story with the campaign characters, bringing them to a zombie-infested world that follows the campaign story, or to reboot with the original Zombies crew being Richtofen, Takio, Dempsey, and Nikolai. So that'd be pretty interesting. They're either going to reboot the old crew that everybody knows and loves from Zombies, or they're going to be taking, like, Woods and Mason and all those guys and putting them in zombies, which would be pretty interesting in itself. I don't know, for you zombies guys, let me know down below in the comments. Would you like to see the old crew rebooted, or would you like to see the likes of Mason and Woods brought into the zombies universe? I think it'd be pretty cool watching Woods kick some ass with all of his different voice lines shouting at the zombies as you fight with that. But anyway, moving on to some multiplayer. Apparently, Sledgehammer will be taking the lead on multiplayer in Black Ops in 2020, though it's unsure if this is for map design or they're just busying themselves porting the bulk of the improvements to multiplayer that Infinity Ward have made with the Modern Warfare engine. But either way, Treyarch will have complete oversight, seemingly making the bulk of decisions for the mode. So Sledgehammer is going to be putting in a large part of the work, it sounds like, for the multiplayer of this game, but Treyarch is going to be making the decisions. With Raven and Sledgehammer being support studios, it sounds like they're just going to be putting in the work, doing a lot of the things, but Treyarch is going to have the overall final decision, telling them what to do, and they're going to be orchestrating the whole thing just with a lot more help this time around. So for those of you that fear another Sledgehammer multiplayer, just know it's going to be Treyarch heading it up, and it's just going to be Sledgehammer working on the thing, putting it together with Treyarch's oversight. That's really about all there is for multiplayer, other than that we're going to be getting some Vietnam-focused multiplayer as far as the era, and we're going to be getting it on the brand new engine that Infinity Ward's using for Modern Warfare. That's really about it. There's still a long way to go. I mean, this game has like a year and a half still before it comes out. But as far as multiplayer, that's all the information. One final thing from this article discusses Blackout. Blackout, of course, was introduced in Black Ops 4 and has been a pretty good success. I feel like it'd be doing a lot better if Black Ops 4 as an overall game, well, it was doing a lot better and making a lot better decisions. But there's supposedly mixed rumors. This one is one that's more kind of up in the air and is getting some mixed reports. But apparently Raven will be focusing on bringing Blackout into the updated engine, though once again Treyarch will have complete oversight. Treyarch was apparently happy with their first crack at the Battle Royale genre, but feels there is much more potential to be found. It sounds like they'll be wanting to focus this on the adult market when it comes to Black Ops 5 rendition of Blackout. So it sounds like Treyarch wants to transform Blackout into this new game that they're going to be doing with this new Black Ops 5, Black Ops the reboot, whatever you want to call it, which I think would be really awesome for them to do. The counter report that's coming out is that Activision doesn't really see much more longevity with the Battle Royale genre. Even though they're happy with Blackout and what it did, they don't know how much further Battle Royale is going to work in the market and how much longer it's going to last and survive. So they're not really sure that they want to do that. That's the counter report to this. But I personally would be very happy to see Blackout come back in Black Ops 5 because, like I said, this game is going to be on these brand new consoles, and if they don't have backwards compatibility, which they could not, but either way, it's going to be an old game regardless. Having this ported over to a brand new engine and all this stuff, I think would be really good for Blackout. And assuming the Battle Royale genre is still doing very well here in about a year and a half, I think that's going to be really awesome. And to have 4 game modes come out with Call of Duty Black Ops 5, I think would be awesome, even though I think Blackout would still more or less be kind of the same thing. I don't think they'd be building a brand new Battle Royale, just more so porting it over. But I'll tell you what, Blackout could really use that new engine. I think it would help out the game a lot. And like I said, as long as Battle Royale is still doing well here in a year and a half, I think that would be awesome. So it sounds like we could be getting 4 game modes with this new Black Ops. We'll be getting campaign this time around, a very gritty, realistic Vietnam-era Black Ops game. Being kind of a reboot, I would imagine, similar to what we're going to be seeing in Modern Warfare, a lot of characters returning, but an entirely different storyline than what we had the first time around. Nothing with the numbers, Mason, what do they mean, or any of the Steiner, Dragovich, Kravchenko stuff. Probably some new, entirely different story, some Vietnam-era multiplayer, a brand new rebuilt zombies mode, as well as Blackout being ported over to this new engine as well. So down below in the comments, I want to know what you guys think about Black Ops 5 being a reboot of the Black Ops series, something similar to what we're seeing in Modern Warfare. Again, I think if done right, this could be really cool. We're so many years now removed. By the time this game comes out in 2020, it will be 10 years since the original Black Ops. So I think seeing a reboot on a brand new engine, it'll be 2 console generations later, and seeing something like the Vietnam era that we haven't seen since the original Black Ops, I think it'd be really awesome to have rebooted here in a year and a half. But down below in the comments, is this the direction you would like to see Treyarch go with this new Black Ops? Are you happy that it's not going to be something similar to the era that we've seen with Black Ops 2, 3, and 4? Or were you hoping it would follow more of that era and that storyline? Let me know all that down below in the comments. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's video, guys. If you enjoyed, make sure to smack the Schmidt, add a like button down below. If you guys enjoy the content, subscribe button down below as well. To videos, go live. Hopefully you guys all have a good one. I will see you guys on another video. So long, everybody.